Hey, nice job! So, a quick review now that you're a bit of a pro when it comes to what goes down your toilet. What are the three P's you can flush down the toilet? That's right. Pee, poop, and paper. Pretty simple to remember. So now let's tackle fats, oils, and grease, or fog, which is the other big part of the Fatberg menace. So what I want to do is go through some common categories of food items that might fall under fog and how you can dispose of them properly. So dairy is one of those big ticket fog items. It includes, but is not limited to, milk, butter, cream, sour cream, half and half, yogurt, and cheese. So most of your solid dairy products like butter, sour cream, yogurt, and cheese can be scraped directly into the trash. For liquid dairy, you can either toss it out in its original container or use an absorbent material to help soak it up. You can try using kitty litter, paper towels, or old sponges to help you get rid of excess milk and cream. Next up is sauces, another common food that can help cause clogs. Sauces include salad dressing, gravy, pasta sauce, mayonnaise, hollandaise, and many more. You can pour most of these substances into a disposable container before throwing it in the trash. If you're using a soda can, you can use scissors to cut open the top for a wider pour. And you can also use a paper towel or sponge to scrape anything left over on the dish directly into the garbage. Meat and animal grease are more common cloggers and include poultry, pork, beef, and lamb products. You can toss solid chunks of meat directly into the trash. If you have a dish with some extra fats or sauces, try using a fork to scrape the meat off your plate and pour the rest of your meal into a disposable container. Oil, oil, oil. There are many kinds of it, and none of them should go down the drain. All leftover oil should be poured into a disposable container and thrown out if you do not plan on reusing them for cooking at a later point. So to summarize in 3 easy steps to get rid of fog, you can scrape it, contain it, and trash it. Regardless of what kind of food you're dealing with, this is a pretty easy way to handle your waste. You'll want to scrape your leftovers directly into the trash, and if you're dealing with liquids, get them into a disposable container to make for easy cleanup. Disposable containers include old soda cans, glass jars, empty pints of cream, yogurt cups, empty tubs of butter, and old milk cartons. You can use a funnel to help get fog from your pan or plate into the container. If you're worried about a mess, you can always put a paper towel down under your container to help catch any spills. Definitely be sure to wait for any hot fog to cool down before you pour it into any containers, especially if you're using plastic. I have made this mistake before. It turns into a very unpleasant mess right before your eyes. When it comes to fog residue, and that's any fog that's left on your pans, pots, and plates, you can wipe that off with a paper towel, sponge, or a handy dandy dish scraper. These are just little plastic tools that make it much easier to get that fog in the trash, and they're easy to reuse. That way you don't have to worry about depleting your paper towel supply as quickly. A quick tip is to keep a large disposable container in your fridge where you can store all of your fog for the week. Just make sure it can be sealed to prevent any unsavory smells. I recommend milk cartons, pasta sauce jars, pints of creamer, or really anything that has a cap on it. Then, when trash day rolls around, you can throw it out with the rest of your garbage. If you want to and have the time and resources to do so, there are a few ways you can help reduce your food waste. For instance, you can reuse fat or grease for cooking, or if you have a backyard, you can make suet cakes out of grease, nuts, and seeds for passing birds. They make for a nutritious, calorie-dense treat, and it's a great way to cut down on waste. For anyone interested, there is a link to a recipe in the resources section. There are many food items that can be composted, such as eggshells, coffee grounds, fruit and vegetable scraps, tea bags, rice, and oatmeal. These items are often rich in nutrients and make for a great rich compost to supplement your soil. Anything too high in fat, however, usually does not break down easily enough to be included in your compost. This includes any animal byproducts like milk and cheese, oils, and even nut butters. It can be a little confusing to keep track of what is and what isn't good for composting, so there is a link and QR code up on the screen to a composting guide. If you're ever confused about whether to throw something away, go ahead and just do it. We're humans, we generate waste. It's great to reuse when possible, and you should always make the effort to recycle, but sometimes there are far more issues that come with putting something down the drain that shouldn't go there, or recycling an item that shouldn't be recycled, than just throwing out an item. Again, do your best to reduce waste, but if you can't find a definitive answer about what to do with your food waste, just scrape it, contain it, and trash it. Well, are you ready for another game? Click the next button to play Trash, Compost, or Reuse.